Hi everyone, this is Vicky and back to ATC's ENCAUSTIC. So on this video I just want to help some of the very beginner, much like myself, has gone through to make something with encaustics, to try encaustics, to really try to do this for, see if you like it, and um, begin knowing what it entails and what materials you need. So I'm trying to think of the least expensive way that you can have this experience, because I think it's just so fun. If you like to try new things and want to have that in your repertoire to see if you want to just play with it, or just, do it continuously. So the first thing that I want to tell you is encaustic means to burn in with heat wax. So usually we use some kind of beeswax, and it is, you can do it alone, but it's not as effective as when you can use one with this medium, with the beeswax with damar resin. So that seems to work the best, and that's by R&F. I got that off of Amazon. But, it is quite expensive. And the wax is going to be the most expensive part of this experiment for you. I had this white beeswax because I use this in my crafting for paper, and I just enjoy using different kinds of things. You can make candles with these if you buy this and you don't know what else to do with it. But there's a lot of things you can explore on YouTube that show you they use beeswax with paper crafting as well. So you can look those things up and just see if you want to invest in this, because look on Amazon how much this white beeswax is costing at this time. I do believe it was under $20, maybe under $15. I have forgotten how much. It's been several years since I bought that. And the second thing you need is a melting pot, okay, to melt the beeswax using some kind of melting thing. So I remember that I had bought this melting pot from Ranger, and they don't sell it anymore, but I have seen it on websites. Even Amazon had one, a resale probably, and so you can get them, but they're quite expensive now, of course. In those days it was a lot less, maybe 10 years ago. So I have found an alternative if you don't have that, and that is, you're gonna laugh, my candle warmer, which I use for my coffee. So I warm my coffee on this little thing, and it is, and there are other ones also, other kinds of things, and that's this one, and it's a candle warmer, but you can see it does heat up enough to melt the wax. This is just beeswax, and so you can get that, and at Michael's. That's where I got mine. I've gotten quite a few because my mom likes to use that in her room for her coffee, or her hot water, and to make tea, and so she has one as well. And it's electrical. You plug it in, and so it lasts quite a while as well. So that is, I'm not sure how much this is now. You can look it up on their site. I think I paid maybe less than $5 at the time, but it might, with inflation, it might have gone up. So you'll have to check it out on the website or go to the store. Okay, so that's the second thing. And the third thing you'll need is very inexpensive, and you can get these brushes at the paint store. It's natural hair, I believe. I don't know what kind, but these are so inexpensive. And even Michael's carries those, and they're, maybe a few dollars. I remember when they used to be have a whole package for $1, but that was years ago. At any rate, okay, so that's what you also need. And another thing you'll need is this a heat gun. A heat gun, they say blowtorch, but I'm not going to use a blowtorch. But a heat gun works. Maybe a hairdryer might work if you only have that. But I use this one, and it's a craft one. They have them in the hardware store, the heavy-duty ones as well. And I don't know how much those are. Do some research. But you can do this fairly inexpensively if you just want to give it a try. If you have a pancake grill that you don't want to use anymore, those also work. I don't know what else. A little heat pan, and then put a little metal pan over the heat pan. You know how I have one of those also. It's one of those one burner kind of things that it's electric. And then what you do is you just use those little, in fact, you can use the lids. See, this is what I'm using. It's a lid to, this is a lid to a mason jar, or you can use like cans, like cans of tuna or cat food or whatever you have that you use a can to. You can heat up your wax on top of the one burner kind of thing. And what what they suggest to do is, I've watched many videos, and they use a clothespin because it's not heat conductive, so it's not doesn't get hot, and so you can move your pan around like that. Okay, so that's another thing, the heat gun. Okay, and so I saw a video in the very beginning that had one of watercolor, and so I decided to go that route because it was the least expensive. The other ones recommend wood blocks and to make these things, and it does come out much better. But just to try, I'm just giving you the beginning just to see if you like it. That's what I did anyway, because I just didn't know if I'd like it, but it looked like I would like to try. So what I did was just get the watercolor paper, and you can put it on a block if you want. I did ATCs because they're small, and I could manage a small watercolor. And you can do anything, right? You can just do a little simple picture. You can do landscape, and or you can do a little just circles if you want, or do some kind of I have a video on watercolor play, and this is one of them. And just, it doesn't matter, just to try it, right? And so you can just play with your watercolor on watercolor paper. Watercolor paper from Michael's is just fine, inexpensive, whatever. If you have some in your stash, use that. And then you can do as little as you want. You don't have to do a big block. You can do just one. Put it on one of those blocks from Dollar Tree or Walmart or wherever you can find these. I found several different ones from different places, I think, that are inexpensive. So you can just use these kinds of things and put it and tape your watercolor to a block, and just do little splashes here and there. And you can see I've done it like this and like this. and then get started. So after you have the watercolor done, you cut it up in pieces, and then you can cut it in sizes. If you, this is what I've done, cut it to size of a ATC size. So you can just put it on mat board or chipboard. Okay, mat board is like, you know, that goes around the your frames. And this is part of a mat board. I just cut it up. I had a large mat that I had cut out for a painting I did. And so I learned how to cut mats. But this was kind of damaged, so I decided to use this. And so it's just a piece of mat board that I cut to my ATC or whatever size that you decide to use to play with. You can use this kind of thing that's, you know, remember in Michael's, just get these chipboard kind of things. You can try it with this. A little solid thing. This is a Michael's kind of coaster that I bought in the past. You can buy chipboard. This one's a thick, medium-sized chipboard that I bought. This one is probably the first quality chipboard. But you can use a couple of these and glue them together. What works best for glue of those kinds of things would be the 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac, this kind. They recommend not to use this kind of thing in your encaustic because it is flammable. Okay, but for a heat gun, you're not going to get it real heated. You barely. I'm going to show you that you barely even use it. But if you're concerned, they recommend paste. And it is a little more difficult and to stay together, but you'll just have to put it under heavy books after you paste it together, and that would be the best thing to do, or use your Elmer's glue. And when you're finished with your with this, you're going to put it on your chipboard square and glue it together, and it's going to be all ready to go. Now what I have was I've done already some. Let me see, and you don't want to do it just with paper because I've done that and it curls up, okay? So you're going to need some kind of cardboard or something to put it on. And then you put that on, glue it on. Make sure it's all, the size on the edges are all intact. And then what you do is you get your let me see. Oh, here's, I have this. I'm just going to put this on. Okay. So after you glue it on, let's use something. Oh, this one. I think this is good. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on with this because this is paper when paper. Okay, let's just try it. I think I'm going to glue it on like this. So I'm going to use my glitter glue and see how that works, okay? And I have tried this in the past. It does work because it's paper to paper. And I'm just going to glue this to here. Make sure my edges are straight. And you may be not using this size. You might be using 6x6 or whatever. I just didn't want to, do that since I was doing ATCs. And I'm just going to cut this to size. And this is a little oversized, so I'm just going to cut this also. Okay. And remember, this is not your masterpiece. This is just to learn how to do this. So I'm just going to be showing you what this, and this is not the thick board, as you can see. This is just an extra piece of paper, but for demonstration purposes, because I seem to have run out of the ones, the chipboard size, no, that's not one. The chipboard size that I normally use. I don't have a cutout one piece. Actually, I could have just showed you this one. Right? Alright. Because this is the right size. And then just cutting it. The mat board. So, perfect. So, I'm just going to use this, right? And I'm going to do this the same way with this glitter glue. And I'm going to make sure I get the sides, because this is what comes apart, is right to the edge. And you want to make sure that that stays. This video might be long. I apologize, but it does take time to do this encaustic. Alright, doesn't that look nice? Alright, so I'm going to just, and that was a big piece that I had used, that I made. This one here, painting watercolor, just plain in my playtime. I do have 2 other videos of encaustic, and just one second, I'll tell you which. They are ATCs, artist trading card ones that I did. I feel like all the artist trading cards that I do, that I'm doing, they're not just encaustic. I'm doing them for anything that I want to try new. And so I'm just making it small because it's easier to do. And I'm just going to get this a little better cut. Okay, that works. And I think it's going to stay. It's not really completely dry, but I want to get started and show you the waxing part. Okay, so let me show you the waxing part. Oh, I like this one. Okay, so I am going to do it with the beeswax just to show you what you do. And I am just going to do from one edge to the other, straight across. Get some more beeswax and come from one edge to the other. Okay, and that's going to dry. So let me get some other one. And I did have one here. Did have one here, didn't I? I don't have it. Okay. Well, so let's look at this. And it's already dried. Now you see those lines right there? That's the wax. And we're going to fuse it together. The wax and the and I'm going to hold it up only so that you can see it. And I'm going to turn on the heat gun. So it's going to be a little noisy. And I just want to show you see how glistening it is, and it's melting. So you do want to have it on the table so the wax doesn't melt down and it'll get you see that you cannot see. Did you see that? Right there? and there. So it's, sometimes they do that. Okay, there's fuse. So that's the first fuse. And that looks really nice. Okay, so you can see how the wax moves. If you don't see, the wax moved away from the paper, but it's still on there. But you have these little bumplies, but I won't worry about that. Sometimes I keep putting it on and it gets really cloudy, and so you have to wait for it for a while. If it gets too thick, then what I do is take my knife and you can scrape it so it's a little more even if you like. They use a clay tool that carves the wax off, but I haven't invested in that yet. That would be the next thing that I will buy. There's lots of things that you can buy for this, and so, but this is the beeswax, and see how different it looks now, and it's just so fun. And then these little pieces, this wax, you can put back into your little pot and re-wax it, as long as it doesn't have color on it. I'll show you this one here. So I have a lot of different colors in there, so I can use this for something else. So I save all these pieces. And so that is just the first, that's the first one. And you can tell the difference. You can look at the original one that I did and reel it back, and let's do it again. So last time I went this way, so this time I'm going to go this way, and they recommend you put like 3 coats on at the least, and you may want to put more on depending. Okay, and so then let's let that one dry, and I'm going to show you some other ones that I've done. This one I just recently did, and it's just a brush stroke, a couple brush strokes and some splatters, and it came out really pretty. You can also put some metal paint through there with kind of splatters. That would be pretty also. But I can put a little word in it. If I want, I can stamp it on top. I think this is done for me. But this is using the mixture, encaustic mixture, that I buy from R&E on Amazon. So that's that one. And let me show you this one. This is just a watercolor little painting that I did. And I did do this one with the beeswax. So it comes out pretty good. Just, you know, pretty good. This one I started putting the R&E encaustic medium with the resin in it. And that resin is a natural material, so it's not flammable. It's not. So you're not supposed to use any kind of synthetic brushes because they are nylon and they will melt. So anything that is plastic will melt, so you don't want to put that on heat. There is a fire hazard on these things, so you want to keep water nearby you. I have like a spray water because I'm using it in small pieces, but if you're going to make it in larger, you know, spray bottle water I have close by. And if you're going to use large pieces, I would use, or a blowtorch, I would have a fire extinguisher in your craft room. And I do have one in my craft room anyway, because there's so much paper in here. But anyway, this one is with that encaustic, and see how nice that is? Okay, so the ones that I really like are the ones with the wood. And I bought these woods from eBay, and I can get much better quality and using the R&F. I can use much much better thickness of the encaustic and put several layers on there, and it looks really pretty. So this is another one. I think they come out much better on this piece of wood that I got from Amazon. And I bought a stack of them. So, and this one, I've already shown these several different ones on my previous videos. You can check out my other videos. But that's what that looks like. Now let's do another heat on this. And this is just the very, very beginning of doing this in plastic. And I'm just going to say that it's heating up the wax, trying not to make it run, but just heating it up carefully to fuse together with the wax and the previous waxing. So that's good. And then I'm just going to check it. So that's number 2, and it's running a bit, but that's okay. And when it's done, when it's all done, you can get one of these. You can, if you have this. This is a, I think this is automotive paper towel. They use these in filters actually for the during COVID. They use these. That's why I have them. But you can polish these up with these, or a soft cloth. A good soft cloth is from, I got a bunch of these that were inexpensive that I use for my paintings to clean up because they're inexpensive. I got them at Walmart. So it shines it up. So see how shiny? Isn't that so pretty? I just love this encaustic stuff. It's just so fun. Okay, so if you're wanting to know what you do with these after you make these little things, or you can make cards. I've shown this before. I've made a couple cards. Actually, I haven't really finished this card, but I did make this. I only put a few layers of encaustic, but you can just layer it up like this. And I think I have one more over on my other desk. And so I did do a little drawing with watercolor on this one and put fabric. I think this is a silk fabric from India that I got out of a rug, Cardi rug or something like that. But anyway, I collaged it. And this is, I think this is just one layer of that beeswax. And so I was just trying the beeswax. I did sewing on the card. And so you can put them on cards, and it's dimensional, and it's fun. I think that came out nice. So that's what you can do with encaustic, and it's so much fun. I just love it. Look how beautiful that is. Now go check back and see what it looked like, you know, with the plain paper. You know, it's just fun, right? So have fun with that. I hope that was helpful. Have any questions, please put it in the comments below, and I will be sure to answer, okay? Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.